7 of the Weaverbirds. I'm Cathy from Lazykate Textiles, and this is Heather, the Inquisitive Weaver. Welcome if this is your first time coming and joining us on the podcast, and if you've returned, thank you so much. It's lovely to have you. Our aim is to chat about all the different fibre arts, and also try and improve our skills in our spinning and weaving. And if there's anything that we can do to help you along the way, give us a shout either in the comments or join one of our groups on Ravelry or Weaverbirds on Facebook as well. So we've had quite a busy fortnight since we had a chat last time. Heather, what have you been up to?
So I have been, I've moved back to my flat. So this is my craft room in my flat in Liverpool. So I'm right by Cathy now. So yeah, it's been a move and I have been organising my life. So I need to get a job, etc. So I've been kind of looking into that. And I really want a dog. So I've been trying to figure out how I can get to getting a job, but getting a dog. I need a job so I can get a dog. So that's what I've been up to, really. Yeah. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, I've moved as well. I moved from, as you know, I think we discussed it previously. I was in a dock in the north end of Liverpool, but we've had to move. So we made the move down. I think it was last Wednesday, I think. And so we're in the Liverpool Marina now, and literally I can see your flat, which is just like the strangest thing, isn't it? Because we live not far away from each other when we were in Ormskirk and Orton, and now we've ended up down here. So the journey was lovely. I can put a little video on about that, it was really good fun. And so now we're settled here, and it's lovely. Absolutely love it. Very quiet.
Yeah.
The only thing is, the container where I've got all my work, all my looms and everything is still in the north end of Liverpool. So it's about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes drive with the traffic and everything. But it does give me some kind of structure, because now I've got set days rather than running up and doing 15 minutes or whatever. I've got to structure in days now where I go down to the container and I, get everything sorted. And I found that has really, really helped.
Yeah.
So I've been able to get some full days in and have some proper structure in what I do.
Yeah. I think that does help, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what, in terms of weaving, have you been doing?
So I haven't got it with me, or it's difficult to show on the loom, but I'll put in a little clip. But I've been weaving the Halvdrall tea towels, and I've just absolutely been loving it. So I have been weaving on it whenever I can, and I'm about halfway through the second tea towel out of 3. And I don't know whether it's just because I love overshot, but I've really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really nice pattern. And I've been weaving with the overshot bit with boot clay at the moment. So this is a cotton boot clay, and I love the texture. I think I just really love texture, and I really like overshot. So it's been really, really enjoyable weave. And I've decided that one of them each tea towel is going to be different. So the first one I've got in that light blue with the smooth thread. And then I'm going to do 2 boot clay ones in different colours. And one of them, because I'm pretty sure my brother doesn't watch this, because I'm not going to be able to knit him a pair of socks in time. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to send him a tea towel down for his birthday next month. So I have to finish them soon. But yeah, I really recommend this pattern. It's really enjoyable for me. I really like it.
I've seen on Jane Stafford's on her online guild, she uses an awful lot of cotton boucle, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Particularly in that first season.
Yeah, this is her cotton boucle.
Right.
Does anyone know, this is a question for everyone, where I can get coloured cotton boucle in the UK? Because I found, just plain boucle in the UK, but I haven't found coloured, and I don't have the skills to dye what colours I would want at the moment, but I really want cotton boucle for weaving. because I really love it, and I can imagine myself using it in a blanket or, you know, in lots of different things, tea towels. So if anyone knows, please let me know, because I really want it.
Right. Yeah, well, give us maybe My Fine Weaving Yarn or somebody like that could try and source it, even if she doesn't stock it. Because sure, you can't be the only person who wants it, can you?
No, yeah. Because it was expensive. You know, I bought it for myself as a Christmas present. And, you know, it cost me about £100 to get six of them shipped over. It was a kit, so it came with instructions and stuff like that. So maybe that's why it was a bit more expensive. But the shipping was really what got me. I've learned my lesson, like, do not order from America. I ordered some a skein of yarn, and I ordered some fibre from Created by LCB. Beautiful fibre, absolutely love it. And it was about £25, which is very expensive, but I thought I'd just treat myself. And then it cost me the same amount on the import tax. Honestly, I could have cried. I was like, oh my God. It cost me like £50 for this. It's beautiful, but it's not worth it. And when I bought it, I didn't, for some reason in my head, I was like, I didn't think of the import tax, and really got shafted there. Really shafted.
Shame. So there's definitely a gap in the market then, isn't it? If you know, if nobody is supplying, but I can't imagine that's the case. We'll have to find someone, put some feelers out. And well, I've been doing weaving with the double heddle on the rigid heddle, and it's gone pretty well, to be honest. Double heddle weaving it just takes a little bit to get your head around. On your first heddle, you put the yarn through twice, so you'll have 4 ends in the slot, and then one of those ends goes through the eye. And so that it takes, because I've got a 12 dents per inch heddle in there at the moment, and it's on the 16 inch, so that has taken a little bit of time. But you're supposed to check that you've got 4 ends in the slot. So 4 ends is 4 threads for people. People keep asking me to explain the terms we use. So so 4 ends in the slot. So that's 4 threads going through a slot, and then there's a little eye in the heddle, and one of those goes through there. So then you're supposed to check when it's all done that you've got 4 through. So even though I supposedly checked, not well enough, I then wound that warp on, and then when I came to thread the second heddle, 2 of the slots had only got 2 threads in instead of 4. So I've then had to spend the time moving everything along a little bit, so I would end up with 4. So I said to you earlier, didn't I? I hope that hasn't thrown out the sort of the process, but you seem to think it'll be okay.
Well, I was just thinking then, it might throw out the pattern a little bit. I don't know how many repeats is I don't know. It should be okay, right?
Well, it's not a pattern that I'm following, because it's a shower curtain. I'm going to have the plastic shower curtain, and then in front of that, this sort of like lace effect. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, really. And I was going to write down what I wove as I went along. So it's nobody else's pattern. It's just make it up as you go along. So
hopefully it should be okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. So I'm halfway through the second heddle, threading the second heddle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down, like you, I haven't got it to hand, but I will take some photographs of it. And I do think it's a worthwhile thing to do. It's an interesting thing to do. Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to get it all threaded and actually start weaving.
Yeah.
So that's my weaving.
Oh, I've got one more weaving. I've got the sorry. I've woven all of these squares.
Oh wow.
So I ended up doing, like, haven't done it every day, but some days I'll do like 6, and then so I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, oh god, 20, 30. Well, actually 31 with the black one at the bottom. But so I still got quite a lot to go. over 100.
Those colours are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, so this top row was all the pinks and the purples. So I'm very happy with them. I've really enjoyed doing it. I've been putting on a audiobook and just sitting there weaving squares. So also, I might as well recommend my audiobook. If you like, I don't know whether it'll be like fantasy, but it's called the Broken Earth trilogy. And it's absolutely incredible. At the beginning is a bit uncomfortable as it talks about a little bit about abuse, but it's just setting the scene about the culture and everything, and it's just, it took off. And at first I was like, I'm not enjoying this is uncomfortable, and then it's just absolutely incredible. But it is like set in a completely different world.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and each book in the trilogy won a Hugo Award, which is a big award.
Wow.
So I recommend it. And this is...
Sorry, go on.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say we should have recommendations, shouldn't we, in the group of books that people are listening to while they're working.
Yeah, I think it's great, because I would go upstairs just to weave the squares because I wanted to listen to the audiobook.
Oh, well, that's brilliant, isn't it?
So this is the box that I had bought, and so I've just completed the top row, and you can get 3 squares out of each ball, and there's just a tiny bit left over. And so I'm starting the next row, which is like the yellows and the greens. So this will give me the more than I need for the blanket. So it's brilliant. And this was £35 for the whole box. And so I think it's good for what it is. I think it's brilliant. It's going to give me a nice blanket. So that is all I've been doing for that. But,
well, the colours are beautiful. If those first ones are anything to go by, the blanket's going to be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be a real struggle to figure out how to arrange it all, though, isn't it?
It'll be lovely.
Yeah.
So, knitting? Done any knitting?
Yeah, so I haven't done as much knitting, but the one project that I have been working on and made progress is my Velvety sweater. By Gregoria Fibers, and so I finished a sleeve. Woo. Yay!
Nice.
I did go a bit wrong at this end doing all the decreases, but no one's going to notice. I was like, no one's going to notice that. So I've just started the second sleeve. It's a bit short, but I did check my gauge because I figured that I probably did the gauge wrong. But my gauge is right, so I think when I block it out, maybe it won't be as small as I think. The sleeves are the perfect length, but I did knit them to be so. So yeah, it's in Drop Sky, and this is Hazelnut Mix, and this is my 4th ball, and I still have, that much left on my 3rd ball. So it doesn't take that much yarn, this sweater. So yeah, so that's all I've been doing. So hopefully by our next episode, I'll have finished this jumper and blocked it. That's my aim. So
it's beautiful. It's lovely, lovely colour.
Thank you.
Autumnal.
Very autumnal, yeah. I just have to finish it by September, because then it would have been a year since I cast on. So
really.
Yeah.
Well, I've done no knitting at all, and I kind of ground to a halt with the little crochet circles as well. Although this is what's left of the warp. I just looked across here where my daughter has been trying to put it into little balls while she's been watching the telly. So that I think that's not going to last much longer. It'll end up well, I don't want to say it's going to go in the bin, because that would be terrible and wasteful, but
might need to.
So spinning, that's what I've been mainly doing. And I said, didn't I, that I would stop spinning with purple, which I did. And so I dyed that fibre, and in my head, when I dyed the fibre, because I've got a little section of it here, these blocks were really defined blocks of colour. They still a little bit, but I think in my head they were much more defined blocks. So when I've come to spin it and the fibres have drafted out gently, you can see on the bobbin there, it's very gradual and very muted, and I love it. I do love it, but it is a bit more graduated than I had thought. And so here's a picture of the finished skein, the plied skein, and it's very, very tweedy. And I would imagine it in a, maybe in a, like I could see it in a waistcoat, with a back or something like that. I've still got an awful lot of it to spin, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it done. So this afternoon when I go down to the container, I'm going to get the zoom loom, and I'll do a little woven square and see how the colours work together. But it's not going to be in your face at all. It's going to be such a gentle weave, I think. So that's what I've been doing. And because in the past when I've dyed fibre, I've done 100 grams at the time, so I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I think I've dyed about 400 grams of this, so that I will have enough to do a project with. But obviously that's going to take a little bit of time to spin, so I'm just working my way through that.
Since I've come back to my flat, I've got my little cork board above my desk here, and it's got Epic Cloth 2020 and I've got all the little sections, all the things that I need to do on it. And one of the things I really want to do is weave and then sew a garment for myself out of the woven stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, I've got 5.5 months left. I think I can maybe still do it. I need to get a job because I can't afford to buy any more fine yarn. And I want to do it in...
How far through it are you?
Well, I had woven a little sample, but I've kind of completely changed my mind about what I wanted to do, because I'll maybe put a picture in of the pattern I was going to do, but it needs to be in, like a sweater kind of, like a jersey fabric.
Right.
And because it needs stretch, and I'd have to make it quite big if it was going to fit properly with the stretch and everything. So I decided that I was just doing it to make myself lose, if you get me. Like, it was never going to work out. So I was thinking of doing like a zipped jacket, like what was it called, like a bomber jacket maybe.
All right.
With a zip. So, but I want to do it in cotton so I can throw it in the wash. Right. So it probably won't be able to finish it this year, and I'd need to be able to sew, because my sewing skills are not as good as they need to be, so I need to practice. But yeah, I think I might try and do that goal again. So if people have got advice on weaving fabric for garments, I'd be interested to know, and I'd be really interested to know what people have managed to produce themselves. So yeah.
It's something I would love to do as well, and I can't sew. It's not even like my sewing skills aren't up to scratch. I can't do it, and I don't enjoy it. And so even when I start it, kind of like you say, you set yourself up to fail. And I know Sarah Howard from Get Weaving with Sarah, she has lovely patterns, and I've got one of her patterns to make a very, very simple top, but I haven't produced the fabric yet. But the idea of it, the idea of making it, I like. The actual doing it, I hate.
I know, I haven't really sewed since I sewed through my finger. So
I'm not surprised.
I need to get back into it. But
that makes me just cringe, Heather, when thinking about
and
it.
I just insert a photo. I did share it around Liverpool though.
You did. You forced everybody to look.
I am sorry. I would like to apologise.
No, you're not. You're not. Do it again. The other thing to do with spinning I've had this week is one of the ladies who has been a friend from when I was working in the wool shop in Knitwise, Mary. She got in touch to say she was doing the Tour de Fleece. She was spinning that, and she was having terrible trouble. She's a very, very competent knitter, and she's kind of learning a little bit with spinning. So she'd committed to 15 minutes a day for the Tour de Fleece, and she got in touch with me hugely frustrated because the flyer just kept falling off her spinning wheel, and I'll take some pictures of this as well. And so almost straight away, I kind of knew what it was, but we had a Zoom meeting, and it was the maidens. The maidens were coming loose. Now with your spinning wheel, right, so with the spinning wheel, these are your maidens here on the edge. You've got your flyer and your maidens here. And so these maidens need to be able to move. You do need to be able to move them, but also they need to be fixed enough so that they don't just like lose control of the flyer. So over time that those underneath will come loose. So if I pick that up again, if I take this drive band off, and you can turn this here, you can turn that right over, and you can tighten the maidens underneath. So what I thought, what I said about a fortnight ago, was that I would put these little videos on a YouTube channel and have set that up. So it's the Lazykate Textiles YouTube channel, because people who come to spin, once they've got the techniques, they're away, aren't they? But then little things like that can happen, like your maidens come loose, and you just need somebody to say, try this, and you're back on your way, and it stops people thinking that they can't spin or that they're useless. It's not, it's just a little tweaks that need to happen. So I'm going to be doing little videos all the way along, and I'll put them on the YouTube channel, and then hopefully it'll help people just to keep spinning and not get frustrated and try out little things, because they're wooden machines, aren't they, and they get hot and cold, and sometimes they're a bit cantankerous.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's all it was, and she was off, so it really helped me as well. So thank you, Mary, for getting in touch, because it helped me to have a think about how it can help people to continue with their spinning. So that's what I was going, and I said I would do that a fortnight ago, and I did it. I think that's probably the first time that's happened.
That's brilliant. So my weaving, spinning, I've just been spinning this fibre here. So this is 50% merino, 50% tencel, and I'm spinning it quite fine. I'm trying to do fine spinning. The only problem with fine spinning is it takes a long time.
Yes, it does.
It really does. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. I don't have the fibre with me to show you. I put it in a footstool. My dad has this footstool that has a lid in, and I just lifted the lid. I had it in my room, and I stuck my fibre in. I was like, that's a great place to store it, because I just lift it out when I'm spinning, and then I forgot it when I moved back.
Oh no. So when you're spinning with the tencel, Heather, is that how does it feel any different, or
it feels a bit more slippy? One of the problems I'm having, and maybe you can help me, and I wonder if can you see this? So because I'm spinning quite fine, I'm trying to put a lot of twist in, and then what will happen is it'll go in, and I think it's when it goes a bit finer than the rest of it, and it just snaps. It doesn't come apart loosely like it's underspun, but am I overspinning, and that's why it's just snapping?
That's often what happens with when it snaps. I haven't spun with tencel myself, and maybe it's something that I really should have a go at. But I could have a go. We could I could run across and get some and have a little have a little try spinning with it. But yeah, when it snaps like that, it's usually because there's too much twist.
Okay, because then once so it snaps, and then I try and pick up the end, but then it just comes apart like it's overspun, and I'm losing my mind a little bit. Like, am I overspinning, underspinning, or maybe I'm doing both?
Right. Well, maybe I can, because we said, didn't we would have like a socially distanced spin in the area outside your flat. So I could have a look and see what's going on, and then we could report back and see if anybody else has had those kind of problems with their spinning.
Yeah, that'll be really useful, because I'm really enjoying it, but I was having this without the tencel. So in my my other spin, which I said I was going to finish and then just spoke about again, the like gradient of like turquoise orange kind of thing. I was having the same problems with that one. I was spinning fine, and then it would just snap, and then I'd try to pick it up, and it just comes apart like it's overspun. So underspun.
Okay, we should have a look.
So it's a consistent problem that I'm having. I wonder if anyone else has that issue as well. So yeah, I would appreciate us if we could meet up and discuss that problem.
Yeah.
But this fibre is really beautiful. I'll put a picture in if I've got one. It's Cat and Sparrow UK. And this is I'm going to say this wrong, it's not Napoleon. What's that ice cream? Neapolitan.
Neapolitan, yeah.
Yeah, so the colourway is Neapolitan. And it's really gorgeous and silky. And I have like 3 braids of this merino and tencel in different colourways, but I feel like the colourways kind of complement each other a bit. And so my plan was to weave a small blanket out of it. So we'll see. And I might change my idea. I might use it for overshot, but socks, who knows? But yeah, so it's a very nice spin once I fix my issues that I'm having.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing, isn't it, with an epic cloth? Because I did the same thing. I've got a book and I've got the plan, and I know you did a breakdown for me. But I think that you might plan something in winter, and then once the spring comes, your ideas change, or there's other input from, you see something else that inspires you, and you don't, you've got to have the freedom to change your mind.
Yeah.
And leave something behind, and like you say, never speak of it again.
Yeah.
Who knows, you might pick it up.
Well, that's what I watched Felicia Lowe's Taking Back Friday, and she talked about the Make 9, and she was saying that this month is a good month to reassess your plans and change them, because a year's a long time, and things do change throughout a year. Like, who'd have thought we'd been hit by a pandemic, because really the pandemic ruined my plans, because I was gonna dye some fibre and then spin that fibre and then knit it into a jumper. And then I was going to weave and sew a garment as well. So I was going to have 2 different epic cloth projects for the year. And then I was going to knit, though I think I'm going to hit this one, 12 pairs of socks. So
Yeah.
I think I've hit that one already.
Yeah. And that's what's kept you sane through the pandemic, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, lovely. So in the next fortnight, what's your plan?
So I'm going to keep trying to weave the squares that I've been doing, and I would like to, in the next fortnight, finish my Halvdrall tea towels, because I need to, because my brother's birthday is in the beginning of August. So I'll have them to show, and I would like to finish this jumper and then have made progress, and maybe we can come back and try and assess how I can improve my spinning to not have the issues that I'm having. So I think that's my plan.
Well, mine is to weave the double pedal cloth, and I'd like to get on with that. And I do feel really enthusiastic about that. I feel
I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, I do. So that, and then carry on with this, and then I had to close my stall at 10 Streets Market, which has been really sad. I've been sad about that, but because of the pandemic, that's the way it's had to be. Mm-hmm. So I took all the stock that I had there, and I put that all into the container, and so now I've got so much fibre. So I'm saying to you, and I'm chatting to you and saying, oh, I'll get some fibre with tencel in. I think, no, I'm either going to have to spin or do something with this fibre. So that's what I'm going to carry on spinning and work it through. I'm going to keep on with spinning it 4-ply, and then hopefully I can chop and change and produce bits of fabric.
See, one of my things is, so this is when I did have a business, this was all the yarn that I had bought from my business, and the same down here. You can see they're really big because I just bought in bulk, and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're like, most of them are merino wool, and then some of the big ones are merino and silk. They're Jaeger spun Zephyr, because I was making those scarves, and I keep telling myself I can't buy anymore. First of all, I need a job before I can afford to buy anything now. I literally am at that point, but I'm like, I really need to work through this, And the beautiful colours, they really are beautiful.
They are. Yeah. And I think that's it, isn't it? You use what you've got.
Yeah.
You know, we've got enough, haven't we, to work our way through and produce lovely things.
Yeah. So I've got one of the things that and Marianne from our group said, you know, my dad's little dog, although she's keeps growing, so it's maybe at Christmas she'll slow down growing. I feel like every time I look at it, she's like boom, bigger. But I want to, and for my brother's dog as well, I really want to weave them little jackets, because in the winter they sleep with little coats on in the night to keep them warm. So I want to be able to weave and make them little coats, but they would kind of need to be out of cotton. Though I have yeah, so wash it, because, and I don't, you know, you can wash wool, but I'm not sure my dad or my brother would be willing to put these into hand wash. But I have some, you can't see it, I wonder if I can just, I bought this before the pandemic, and I bought the wrong size, so it's a bit thinner than I wanted, but it's a cotton and I had bought it to dye it, so maybe I can use that and try dyeing it into some colours and weave something for them. So I'm going to try and make do with what I've got, but yeah.
Good idea.
I've got, you see all my like scrap yarns and stuff I've got. I'm like, I've got to work through all of that.
I know.
Really more.
I know. We'll keep each other under control.
Yes.
Not to spend any money.
Yeah.
I've got no money to spend anyway. No.
So for next time, maybe if we can get some video footage of us meeting outside, distanced and safe, everyone, of our spinning. Or I thought, is your rigid heddle that can come outside?
Yeah.
And my table loom can come outside, so we could even do a time of that if the weather's nice. So
yeah, that would be lovely. Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So well, we'll leave it there then, and we'll see you in a fortnight. So by all means, subscribe, and if there's anybody that you know who's interested in the type of things that we've been talking about, do invite them, and maybe we'll see you in the group as well. So until a fortnight, we'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Liverpool Marina. Today we've travelled all the way from the tobacco factory through the town of Liverpool, past the live buildings. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm glad I was able to share it with you. That's the live buildings right there. Like, that's like a world famous landmark of Liverpool, and here we are. Yeah, just like about to sail right past it. Dad, we should put that look really, I'd say.
Are the windlasses
Quite an experience.
Well, with the whale.
Driving a boat like this is a lot like driving an oil tanker.
You know that relatable thing, an oil tanker on the canal? We know we've all driven one of them.
This might be a bit like that.